Hello, welcome back. We've got another recipe. It's the night before and we're gonna get into some more dough. The pretzels were an absolute success. Now we're gonna get onto some more yeast-based recipes. I'm gonna be making a sheet tray pizza tomorrow. And so with any yeast-based or bread, anything, I always like to have a starter. A starter just starts the fermentation process for whatever yeast-based recipes. It just truly helps my gut. That's it. If you don't want to do this step, then you can just skip to when I'm awake the next day. We're gonna go in with some warm water, and we're making a Poolish. I always love to make Poolish. It's the easiest thing. Poolish is the easiest starter. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. Water, flour, a little bit of yeast. Leave that on your bench overnight, and that will ferment, smell like beer, add flavor to the dough. Take care of your gut. And I find the sweet spot when I do Poolish and starters like that, there's always a 300 gram Poolish. So that's 300 grams water, 10 grams of yeast. Here's my sugar. Guys, I'm not trying to be different. It's not a different recipe. I just fully ran out of white sugar. So all I have is brown on deck. Alternatively, you can use honey. But bro, you got bees at home? Because I don't. And then that's between, I'll say 15 to 30 grams of whatever sugar into the starter. So at this point in time, we just got yeast, water, sugar. Yeah, that's good enough. So that's 300 mils of water, 10 grams of yeast, however much sugar, and we're gonna go in with 300 grams of flour. And guys, how trippy is it, right? Wheat's a grass, and we just grind up grass. I think we let it dry, grind it up, and that's how we made bread for all these tens of thousands of years. And we're just going with a spatula. So I chucked that in the description for the people that don't want to do the starter, where you can pick up from. And guys, if you want to indulge in the luxuries of life and fulfill human potential, then make the starter. If you don't, if you got an iron gut, then don't do it. It's all good. Starters are infinitely better than not doing no starter. Alright, I'm gonna go to bed and I'll catch all you guys later. Welcome back, beautiful people. We're back again. I've got my starter here. It's a new day, very grey. I don't know, like, I'll say the theme of the week has been very grey. Everyone's got like a grey cloud over their heads, you know, like sinking into winter. But it's part of it, you know, it's part of winter. You know, you go in, you hibernate, and you just gotta do what makes you feel great. And for me, that's making delicious recipes for you guys to follow. And you can be eating way better than you're already eating now. This is a dangerous weapon. It's gonna have all of that pent up yeasty, fizzy gas inside, and I always have to open it up and stick my hand in straight away. Oh, it's so fizzy. Oh, holy shit. I'm making my own version of smelling salts. Oh, that fries you, eh? I don't know why I just do that, but it's addicting. For some reason it's addicting as. Oh, that goes hard. Alright, so that's a real good indication that our starter's done what it needed to do. Ferment, relax. It's gonna be easier on our gut to digest, and it's gonna really implement a lot of flavor in our dough. Holy shit, that was crazy, that was intense. We're gonna add the rest of the water into our starter to dissolve it. And I'm going a little bit warm. I'm not going cold water, I'm not going hot. Just nice, same lukewarm temperature. We don't need to go too crazy, just once it's all kind of like dissolved. If there's little stringy bits here and there, that's okay. Chuck that to the side. Now I got my scale. Got the mixing bowl. Shout out to KitchenAid. It makes every single dough recipe way easier. If you don't have a stand mixer, then you can totally do this by hand in a big bowl. That's all my flour. Now for my salt. I like giving this a little mix in, just so our dry ingredients are together. Chuck this guy on. Dough hook, get that up. Try that on low speed. Just giving this a little mix around. And then half at a time. We don't need to be too crazy with this step. Just give it 10 seconds. And that's just so the flour can slowly hydrate instead of just dumping it all in. Because then that's how you get crusty as dough. And then the other half. Let that do its thing for 15 minutes. You'll find there's so many different recipes about pizza dough on the internet, stuff like that. The only thing you guys need to know, the lower the hydration of dough, the texture is a lot more dense, but it's easy to work with. The high hydration dough, that's when you get the soft, pillowy deliciousness, but it's a lot harder to work with. I'm making a dough 69%. I find that's a little bit of both. It's more on like the high end of home pizza styles, but it's totally worth it in the end. Trust. For our dough, just chuck a tea towel on that while we prep the pans. And now to really emphasize the solid, crispy bottom, regardless of your hydration of dough, it needs a lot of olive oil on the bottom. If you don't have olive oil, oil in general, but we just really need to generous coating on both. This one too. Because I'll tell you what, to the untrained eye, this will be like, oh, there's so much oil, it's so fatty. Bro, you need it. You need it. Trust, 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 trust. We're gonna go in with our hand. Just give that a massage. For this one with higher lips, you want to get the lips too. And we still have a nice generous amount on the bottom too. Same with this one. All over. This one got smaller lips. Same thing. The lips get love. With the oiled up hand, I just go in. Get that off of the bowl. And we're dumping that onto our workbench. Any extra bits, going with a rubber scraper. With your already oiled hand, oil up the other one. So this is the bottom and the other side is the top. Give that a flip. And I'm just turning this into a ball. That oiled up hand is going to really help the dough not stick. We're going to split it into the two different trays. It's not going to be a straight 50%. Because I mean, that grey tray way bigger, right? That grey tray way bigger. So maybe like a 60-40. You can also weigh it out if you want to, but I'm gonna just go straight for it. A 60-40 split. I got my two different sizes of doughs. This is the smaller one. Once it's in a ball, we're just chucking it directly in the middle of the tray. Straight into the middle of that tray. Cover it with a tea towel, and then that's just gonna rest, relax, give it an hour. The reason why we let it rest for an hour while it's in that ball is because we created tension with the dough, right? And if we were then to not create tension with the dough, or just try and shape it straight away, you won't be able to shape it straight away. You'll go red. And if you don't create tension, you're not gonna build enough strength in the dough, and it's just not gonna be that great. Any other concerns or anything, check in the comments, I'll answer it. This guy's got a pizza encyclopedia in his head. Pizza hobbyists, they love to think to know everything about pizza, but even with such simple ingredients, it's so complex. I'm telling you. I mean, just ask any Italian. Where's the best pizza? They'll say Napoli, Napoli, Napoli. What about the Romans? What about the Sicilians? What about It's because they all have their different take. Usually I whip up like a traditional-esque Napolitana sauce, but I don't have the stuff for it. We're just gonna do something real basic, real easy. That's not just blending up canned tomatoes with some tomato paste. You need to cook the shit out. I don't know what the hell is up with that, if it's a trend or something, but that shit is how you acidify your taste buds. Medium saucepan, olive oil. And we want like a decent amount. So it's gonna be like a nice shallow fry for the veggies. Usually mirepoix or sofrito, carrot, onion, celery. The ratio is 2-1-1. Bro, no celery. You don't have celery either, don't add it in. You got celery, add it in. Just keep an eye on it. We're cooking high, nice and high. Once our veggies are fragrant, aromatic and delicious, go in with however much garlic you like. Once you smell the garlic, that's it, on to the next step. And this is where it gets very untraditional. We're going with brown sugar. 1 tablespoon is all you need. is going to offer some caramelization. We're going to take this really deep, dark, and it's going to caramelize our veggies further than what oil can do. Also balancing out some of that acidic tomato taste. And if you're Italian and offended saying, oh, pizza sauce don't got sugar, yeah, okay. My response to that is, I cook at the pizza. It will just coat the veggies, it will get dark, it will offer a little bit of that smokiness. Once we got that, tomato paste goes in. And we're sauteing the tomato paste as well instead of just adding. Because if you do that, you need your sauce on the heat for like 20 to 40 minutes to cook it out. So we're just going to cook it out now. It's going to take like less than 5. So it's at a concentrate now, like a paste concentrate. We can go in with our tomatoes. I'm using whole Italian plum tomatoes. Gently, we don't want to be splattering all over the place. I'm adding just the slightest drop of water into the tomato cans. Swirl that around, and we're gonna get the rest of that tomato essence. Cook out just a little bit of that water for 10 minutes. Fully forgot to add the herbs. I got some oregano. Dried is completely okay. Unfortunately, I forgot, so we're gonna add it in now. It will still be good. Just going in with the smallest pinch of dried basil too. If you have like a generic Italian herbs, chuck that in, that will be delicious. A little bit of dry herbs goes a long way. Our pizza sauce needs to be chunk free, so we're going to add just a little more olive oil. It's going to help with the emulsion. Once it's all come together, that's it. Salt and pepper. And we're seasoning to your taste. Always remember that, seasoning to your taste. We'll get a little bit more salt. Season taste. It's fruity, fragrant, seasoned well. Acidic, as well as it has depth, like that lower end smoky base. You can also wait until the dough doubles in size, but just have a look at that. A little bit of oil on your hands, and we're just pressing it, stretching it, getting it all into the corners. And we don't want to go too crazy with the oil because there's a lot on the bottom. If you need to pick it up and stretch it, do that. It will try and fight you, but it's alright. Be gentle. And don't just keep going from one spot. You need to make sure you go into the middle a little bit deeper. Stretch it out. And make sure it doesn't fold over itself. So since I'm doing 2, I'll just chuck this to the side and work on the other one. All it needs is a little bit of rest before we go again. Same with this one. This one's looking great. And this is your dough, guys. Don't be afraid. Pick it up, stretch it out. Pick it up, stretch it out. Pick it up, stretch it out. And you can see each doughs are different. You can see this guy's relaxing into the corners, the other one not so much. He's way more welcoming into the corners. It's like you have to wait until the dough accepts its fate. Once these guys are hanging out in the corners, chuck the tea towel back on and we can get on, organize our toppings. Kind of just hung out again for another, I don't know how long, 5 minutes. You can see, like, no stress, no issue getting in the corners. I like to emphasize the crust. So I go with just my finger, and depending how thick you like your crust, I'm gonna just go around. Ideally, you want to use like a cold pizza sauce, but bro, you just gotta do what you gotta do. And we're generously saucing the top. And that border, we need to make sure that no sauce touches the border. And we're gonna get soggy crust. Okay, that's one done. Both trays are sauced up. We're going into the oven. 220 for about 10 minutes. Okay. Time is up, take these out. Look at that. This one we're gonna go like more like a capricosa, which is mushrooms. a whole lot of mushrooms. I love mushrooms on my pizza. Manuka smoked ham. And literally there's no point being pretty. Rip, tear, chuck it on. If you're trying to impress people, do it this way. They'll be even more impressed than something heavily curated. Okay, now we're gonna go artichokes. And then finishing it off with olives. I'm using Kalamata olives. If you like black olives, add black olives. Green olives, green olives. But I'm going for like the traditional capricosa. Oh, it's like traditional in my mind. Whatever we're top with, finish it off with some mozzarella cheese. And this is a bit of the bag that I had left over. Essentially, we want almost every space covered. I'm gonna do a half and half pizza for this one. Pepperoni on one, and then a special secret on the other. Now I'm gonna go chili flakes. This is for the pepperoni one. Probably get like 4 slices out of this one. 6 slices actually. There we go. And then mushroom. I love all pizzas, but this one specifically, real good. Now the other one, we'll go with some ham. The star ingredient today is pineapple. The sweet taste from the pineapple pairs perfectly with pizza. Salty dough, crust. Drop in the comments if you think pineapple belongs on pizza. I don't even think it's a debate because it does. But if you think I'm wrong, let me know. Okay, these go back in the oven. 1 and 2 for another 10 minutes. Same team, everything same. Here's what we're looking like after 15 minutes. I'll show you how I like to finish off my pineapple pizza. That barbecue sauce I glaze everything with. And now essentially we're just glazing the pizza. And that's what the big ones look like. Oh, no way. Look at it. Look at it. Just look at it. Just look at it. You can see it's kind of detached itself from the sides. And that's exactly what we want. That just means we don't have to fight with our food, like scraping and scraping and scraping. You don't have to do that. Just one, boop, and then slide it off. In my opinion, these sheet tray pizzas, grandma pizzas, are always best with big slices. Pizza cutter does it easy as. I'm just gonna go 1 down the middle, 2, 3. And we have 8 slices right there. Alright, we can't do this one with this pan because this is non-stick. So all I'm gonna do is lift it up, slide it off. Easy as, easy as. Alright, let's check the base real quick. Oh, valid, crispy, valid. Look at that, crispy. So I'm gonna split it. Like that. If you don't have a pizza cutter, use a knife. Crispy on the bottom, fluffy on the inside, crunchy. Delicious crust. Alright, this is the pepperoni, mushroom, and a little bit of chili flakes. Yup. If you split this in half again, how many is that? 16. It turns from 8 to 16. Easily. Easily. You can make them for gatherings, parties. Next we're gonna go for the cheeky Hawaiian. Look, nothing wrong with this. It's all love. Try it. One of my favorites of all time. Sweet, smoky, salty. Bro, there's not much else you could wish for in a pizza. You don't believe me? how crispy this thing really is. It's valid. The dough, the crust, everything in this is to die for. It's unfair. It's truly unfair. Crispy crust. If you like a thinner crust, make it thinner. Okay, last but not least, this is the capricosa. Just have a look. That's the bottom. That's the bottom. Listen. This is still smoking. This is hot. Oh. No. Listen, I'll tell you a secret. Shh, shh, shh. My pizza's the best, my pizza's the best, my pizza's the best, my pizza's the best. Follow this recipe. Guys, that's it. No comparison. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Tell all your friends about me. Try my recipes. You'll be cooking like a pro in no time. I promise. Alright. I'll catch all of you guys on the next one.